Welcome back to the Conflict in a Nutshell series. As always, I'm your host, Gabriel Coder, and today we're going to look at the four ways of communication and how they factor into conflict. This will be a much shorter lecture than usual, and there's a lot less to cover on this topic than the others. But nevertheless, let's begin. Alright, so the four ways of communication are as follows: nonverbal, verbal, written, and paraverbal. And I'll tackle them one by one, starting with nonverbal. Nonverbal is actually a very powerful form of expressing yourself, and although not nearly as direct as the others, it makes a huge difference. From eye contact to body posture to smiling and other gestures, nonverbal communication is very good at showing how somebody truly feels. It's the most expressive way to communicate, and that's why emojis exist, to try and bridge that nonverbal gap that's lacking in text. It's important to recognize the role of nonverbal communication in conflict resolution, as recognizing through body language when someone isn't quite right or maybe feeling nervous can help you to conduct yourself in a manner that better suits the other party. Furthermore, one needs to be wary of how they act nonverbally when in conflict or even just general situations. Something like crossing your arms, for example. It can show that you're defensive and unwilling to listen to the other party, even if that's not really what you're trying to communicate. It's for that reason that you should consider your nonverbal communication at all times when engaging someone in discussion or when in conflict with someone. Moving on to verbal. Verbal is obviously just speaking. It's the most direct form of communication, and were we not living in a digital age in COVID times, I would say it's the most common form of communication. However, I'm not quite sure that's true anymore. Our next topic may have superseded that. Despite that, verbal is incredibly important in conflict resolution because it simply is the most common communication when face to face with people. And since most conflicts are face to face, it's absolutely vital to conflict resolution. It goes without being said that you should take proper care and consideration in everything you say before you say it. And this factors into the 3 traits I provided in my 3rd video in this series. Make sure you're watching what you say. Be patient when formulating a response, stay calm, and keep a clear head. Choose your words wisely. Next up, written communication. Whether it's on a piece of paper, displayed on a computer screen, or text on your phone, written communication is also a very powerful communication method. Now, when it comes to conflict resolution, I wouldn't say it's nearly as linked as verbal or nonverbal, but it is still very important. And of course, there's going to be written communication in conflict and conflict resolution. Sometimes a conflict can start from what's written on a piece of paper, or what was emailed to you, or sent by text, or perhaps what someone commented on your recent Instagram post. An angry or rude email can sour a mood, or even cause an argument, which leads to a conflict. Now, since emails are such an integral part of business life, it's very important that you learn to be careful with it, and what you say, and how you say it. Paraverbal is the last one, and is quite an uncommon and interesting one. So paraverbal is the tone, pacing, pitch, inflection, and pauses one does during speech. All these things together can completely change a message's meaning, and sarcasm is a very big example of this. Now, for example, let's say someone is being sarcastic and rude to you in an effort to bait you into being provoked. It might be useful to remember the avoidance conflict style. Everything changes when you use paraverbal communication, and it's important to take note of it when dealing with a conflict. It could easily change certain details. Well, that's all for today's lesson. Thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you may be watching this video. Thanks again.